My name's Caleb Woody.
Chidabem, Emma Galanti,
Chandler Averett,
Anna Shutley.
My name is Haley.
My name is T.
Grace Anderson.
I'm a senior from Apex, North Carolina.
I'm a junior and I am from Raleigh, North Carolina.
A sophomore from Atlanta.
I'm a senior, and I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
I'm a junior. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm a sophomore, Chevy Chase, Maryland.
I'm a freshman from Jilin, China.
I'm a senior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
When I think about mental health on campus, one of the biggest areas I think needs a lot of focus is how we talk about mental health surrounding guys, especially guys in Greek life. I think that there's this big pervasive idea that if you show any sign of mental illness or any sign of needing help or reaching out, then you're vulnerable, that you're not a man. That's simply not true. In fact, I think one of the strongest things you can do as a man is show when you need help.
I've struggled for quite some time with anxiety and OCD, and through the process I've really learned a lot about how strong I can be and just how to get through a day when you don't feel like you can. I definitely feel like it can be an isolating experience as well because people don't want to talk about it.
In terms of my experience with mental health, it's more I was just starting to understand it more because in the past there's always been days where I feel like very overwhelmed by everything in general, the stresses, and all my negative thoughts basically beat back at me.
I've struggled with anxiety and depression since my sophomore year of high school, and all through high school I was in therapy and on antidepressants.
I was recently diagnosed with depression and autism. I didn't believe I had depression.
I really have a lot of friends who struggle with mental health issues.
I've done a lot of work with mental health at Wake Forest. I'm a psychology major and I'm interested in clinical psychology. In my own personal life, I've had experiences with the counseling center through individual counseling sessions and group counseling sessions, and seen off-campus providers during my whole time at Wake.
So I would say the way mental health has shaped who I am is my freshman and sophomore year. I came here from a smaller town, didn't have any friends that came here, and had to kind of start all over. I struggled with finding where I fit in, what I wanted to do, what kind of person I wanted to be. That led to me not really having any sort of stability my first 2 years. And it wasn't until I found a really strong, solid base my junior year that I knew who I was and what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be.
Through my own mental health struggles, I've become more empathetic. I also think it's definitely done a lot for my own sense of self-worth because it works in an opposite way where I can feel terrible one day but then realize that I was strong for getting through it, and that can be a really empowering thing.
It's really teaching me more so about my emotional resiliency.
I think it got me stronger and more aware of the community.
I think a lot of people try to view mental health as just this wholly negative thing that they want to get rid of, or mental illness. Nobody wants to be defined by their anxiety and their depression, but you can't change the fact that it does shape you and it does define you. Before I experienced any of my mental illness, I definitely took a lot of things for granted.
The biggest thing for me is knowing when it's time to go home, when it's time to leave the party, when it's time to stop studying and be back in my apartment with my roommate or with my friend or whatever it is, and take some time for myself.
Sleep is important. I really have mentors and people that I go to and I talk to.
In terms of taking care of myself, when I'm alone, I will either go on a run or do some form of exercise.
To take care of myself, I just like to do things that remind me of how grateful I am for life.
I think that long-term sustainable self-care is not just about relaxing and resting and things. Those things are good, but taking care of yourself is also making sure that you have purpose and are passionate about something.
I try to meditate, be around friends, not isolate myself.
I like to listen to music, play piano, read a book whenever I feel depressed or stressed out.
While only a small population is affected by mental illness, everybody has mental health, and it's really important to take care of yourself so that you can do your best in your academics and in your social relationships and feel totally confident in all that you're doing. I try to have a balance between studying an appropriate amount to feel prepared in my classes, but then also spending good quality time with my friends and doing a healthy level of exercise.
And the best way that someone could help me if I was going through a hard time is just validating that you're being heard, that people understand that people experience stress in different ways, that they reach out in different ways, and that they need different types of help to feel like they're being heard. What I think the biggest thing that we should be focusing on as students is relying on each other and finding ways that we can reach out to our friends, our members of organizations, and people that you see day to day. If you get nothing else out of Mental Health Week, I hope you realize that there's students at Wake Forest that see the struggles we have as a university and are actively trying to do what we can to fix them.
I would say the best way to support people with mental illness is to just be understanding. Mental illness isn't a choice, it's a brain chemistry issue.
The most important thing is continually like checking in on your friends, like whether you know that they're struggling with mental health or not.
Ask daily questions like, how are you doing?
I think it's like the way how people should react and respond the most is just with compassion and empathy.
Immense patience and kindness is what I extremely appreciate.
I think if we all just start to genuinely have open conversations with each other about mental health and ask our friends like how we're actually doing and mean it and open up like a good pathway for vulnerability, then I think everybody's mental health would improve because we'd all be like so much more willing and ready to talk about it.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Mental Health Week 2020.
Mental Health Week 2020.
Mental Health Week 2020.
Mental Health Week 2020.